just finished processing more footage I captured last night at a client catch-up. It's an event that they host once a year. They invite all of their clients. It's in the finance space. And this is the third year in a row that I'm there with my camera gear, lights, microphones, grabbing interviews as much as possible, testimonials when I can. It's a thank you once a year event. And this is where I take the opportunity to, in this case, these advisors, these specialists on the finance space. This time around, I allowed them to choose 5 interview questions, and they were able to prepare for it. Things like retirement and super and cryptocurrencies and other cool questions. Now, these questions are, while they might seem quite generic, they're quite current with the interest rates and things like that. There were some questions about mortgage for the mortgage broker there. And it just gives me so much media to work with to then humanize that brand, to promote the company, to run that footage as a Facebook ad, run it in the Google ad. The homepage looks like it has far more human content, videos, authority type stuff, where we're genuinely answering meaningful questions on the topic. So at least once a year we have this catch up, whether they run a seminar, whether I visit with some camera gear and I just drill them a whole bunch of questions. What that empowers me with is a flow of media that I then recycle on social media, run it as ads, promote events. I humanize the site. I place a lot of those questions at the top of blogs when we're covering certain topics. It means the social media accounts get a little bit of action, and that's where you have the traffic diversification coming through. That's where all of the hours of footage I've captured, I have it transcribed. It makes the content on the site more unique because every advisor's tone is different. And so now, the third year into the campaign, or around there, we're definitely showing up at the top of local areas, this local suburbs. We've actually done quite well in metropolitan areas as well. So we're showing up for some state terms. But most importantly, when a user lands on that page, there is so much media there to see the kind of people that work there and what makes them tick. And that's such a big difference to then space like financial advisory. Oh, here we go, we got doggy problems. Big doggy coming down. In a space like financial advisor, a very personal space, or mortgage broking, it's like they want to see the advisor they'll be dealing with. They don't, these lifeless sites with stock images. How do you expect to convert with a site like that? Even if you got a whole bunch of reviews, like there's just so much more trust that will go into a site that has, well, hours of footage of them presenting their topics to seminars, free seminars, giving back to the community, these events. Who would you rather go with? And that's now reflected in the inquiries, the referrals, the attention the site is getting. Happy days. So just to add a little bit more to that, because it started to rain, I had to get undercover. That campaign has seen, I think it's about 15 grand spent on Google ads. About half of that spent on Facebook ads. With Facebook ads, I use the Facebook ads to attract bookings for the free seminars that these guys ran. They ran at least, I think, 3 seminars. So each one made a really good excuse to run a Facebook ad, get bums on seats. And I think from memory, the numbers were something like 100 enrollments or 80 enrollments, but less, about half actually rocked up. So we relied on that for the next seminars, and the numbers were about the same. What that did, they created a lot of reasons for me to capture. So I captured these seminars, and then because each seminar tackled the same topics on a different angle to make it more engaging, I ended up with hours of footage that I could use that go up onto YouTube, they get transcribed, that are now Facebook posts, and then additional media to be used at future ads. Not to mention on the service pages of the site or the Google Ads landing pages, these are the videos that people sort of flick through to feel like, okay, can I work with this person or this team? And in what we've seen in the last 2 years, start of the third, is they're coming across really approachable. Like, you get a sense of what this person is with the way he talks and how he jokes and things like that. And that's what these videos are there for. They're not production level videos. In fact, they're far from it, because the filming location has been at Village Cinemas, where they deck out a cinema with their clients, and so the lighting is horrible. So I always have to crank up the exposure and the lights. The non-production stuff that I feel like makes businesses more approachable and more real, the stutters, the imperfections and things like that. So Facebook ads, which are now off, we don't need them. Google ads, which are now off, we don't need them, which is such an awesome thing. Ranked really well on Google Maps within 10 to 15 radius. So the near me searches, financial advisor near me, whatnot. And we're slowly kicking off a campaign in the mortgage broking space, which we've had incredible success in popping up on Google Maps and organic listings in the suburbs. But it's proving to be hard on the conversion elements, and so we're juicing up the site with even more videos and more advisors from the main mortgage broker. That's a tough gig. We're actually ranked already for Melbourne-wide for quite a competitive key term. So 2 years of the finance campaign gave them confidence and allowed more budget to now pay a little bit of attention on the mortgage broking campaign. In a nutshell, local SEO, organic SEO, a fair bit of cash spent on Google ads early on, and Facebook ads. Seminars booked up. Now they've got so much workload. Not necessarily like crazy amount of daily leads, but it definitely feels every couple of days there's at least 1 or 2 web forms filled out, and they all look really genuine, giving the details. I want to get ready for retirement or debts and things like that. And they're the ones that are being filled out by a web form. I'm finding in finance space, people actually just want to call and meet someone face to face. So people are quite reluctant to put their problems on a web form as well. So the feedback I'm getting, in this case, I don't have any call tracking set up, is that there's a flow of calls coming through as well. And everything's tracked, of course. These are, any accountant or anyone in the finance space has got these crazy sheets on attributions and what works and what doesn't. Hope that helps.